Talking about money and financial cheating, for lack of a better word. Financial Infidelity here to discuss. Holly Signorelli, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Holly, CPA, you're the money therapist. And Holly, you were on hold and we were just talking about that. How common is that, what I was just saying? I mean, hidden money here, hidden money there. Come on, man. Everybody does it a little bit.
Well, I do think it's more common than people think. I don't think necessarily it's the majority of it, but there's lots of different ways to do it. So last week I had done a YouTube video and called it Financial Infidelity. I thought I was a genius. And then I see this woman write this article about it. So I guess great minds think alike, right?
Well, let me ask you, is it separate bank accounts, or is it like my partner's friend who just had a stash?
Well, I think it's a lot of steps. The thing that strikes me the most is a lot of times people don't want to tell a fiance, not necessarily someone you're dating, because you're not talking about getting married yet, but a lot of times people are, they've gotten engaged and they have a lot of credit card debt, and they don't want to tell the person that they have credit card debt because they think that there'll be a liability. But if you're already engaged, and that's what kind of spurred me doing that video to begin with. You still need to be honest about those things, because everybody has something like that at some point in their life, and you need to not be afraid to talk about it, because what you do does affect the other person. Even if you keep your finances separate, if you have bad credit or you've gotten yourself in a bind to where you can't pay your share of the bill, it affects the other person, and it needs to be okay to talk about it.
You know how pissed I'd be if I found out my wife had a secret credit card or a couple of secret, because I do know someone who, I mean, it just came all pouring down on his wife. She had like 2 or 3 separate credit cards and he had no idea about it. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars in debt that all of a sudden
he's responsible for
lost
it.
control of. And I mean, but they're still together. That's what gets me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that happened to me, I'd go nuts, Holly.
Well, that's the thing. I've been doing this for 26 years. I've worked with thousands of individuals and businesses, so I've seen this all the time where they've stayed together. They didn't get divorced over it, but then the other person, like let's say that you have a stay-at-home mom and then somebody else is the breadwinner, and they're paying for it, but it causes problems. And you're right, whichever one of you said, it's the number one reason for divorce, money.
Well, Holly, you said you're been in business, for 26 years? I'm looking at a picture of you. You look like you're 28 years old.
That's what I was
thank you. Lights and stuff do a lot.
Yeah. So what's your situation? Are you married? Do you have a fiance? And how do you go about the money in your relationship?
I am married, and I'm a big fan of one joint account for only like the 5 basic bills of your mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, and that each person puts in whatever you agree on, either the same, or let's say one person makes more money, maybe they put in 75% of what, and the other person puts 25%, and that's your joint account. And then you have your own account, and then you can spend it any way you want. Because what I see is that when people are fighting about money, it's not how the other person spends it. It's whether they are equally or proportionately putting into the joint account and the saving. If someone's saving in their proportion with their income and splitting the bills in proportion, they don't care how the other person spends the money. So that's why I say keep your finances separate but not secret.
Yeah.
And we're talking to Holly Signorelli here, the money therapist. And I say Tracy and I are of separate opinion here. You have separate accounts for everything. I'm with you. I have that one joint account that we draw everything from. But I trust my wife enough to, and I'm not saying that it's not the same with you, but that's how you feel. But, it's just like she's not a spender, so I don't have to worry about it. But there are plenty of people.
See, my wife, and that's the problem. And I'll be honest, my wife makes a lot of money, and she spends a lot of money. You ever been to Nordy's? Right? You know what I'm talking about? You've been to Macy's, you've been to Dillard's, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's important in a relationship, kind of the big picture, that both people are working. I don't think I could get into a relationship where I was the only one making the money.
Well, it depends, because sometimes the person making the money doesn't want to do the things that have to be done at the house. And the person that's staying home loves to do those things. And, of course, kids are a factor of that, too, if you have young kids. So, our kids are adults, so that's not an issue.
But see, it's not an issue with me because I have a housekeeper, I have a driver, I have all that stuff. So, I mean, we make enough money, we can afford that. You don't have a driver or anything?
No, I don't have a driver.
Do you have a housekeeper?
Yes, of course.
Aren't they great?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. What? What planet do you live on?
I don't like to cook and clean. I need somebody to come in and cook for me, too.
So it's old school? So you have like a maid, watch those old TV shows?
I
where
have a house
the
monitor.
The ladies who's cooking. You have somebody who cooks for you?
Well, my husband cooks for me. He's Italian. I mean, he likes to cook.
Oh, don't tell me he does dishes, too. Does he bake?
We use a lot of paper plates, I'm not going to lie.
So you said you have grown kids, so that's easy now, right? The kids are they out of the house?
One of them is. The other one's on his way. That's the plan.
So here's a bologna sandwich and some chicken noodle soup. Shut up.
Yeah, macaroni and cheese, that kind of stuff.
Bam.
Hey, Holly, how do you think why is it that when someone's thinking about getting married, they never seem to have that conversation about money?
I talk about this all the time because the reason that money is the number one reason for divorce is people just simply don't talk about it. And money in general, in anything, people don't want to talk about it. That is where the money therapist came about, because it's like, we need to talk about it. It's becoming a virus on this whole planet, because when you don't talk about something and you stifle it, it just grows and grows. And things like this credit card debt, when you're getting married, it's okay if you have credit card debt and you say, hey, you know what? I want to get this paid off before we get married so we have a good, clean start. You don't have to lie about it. And I don't know about Ohio, but Texas is a community property state. So when people go out and get credit cards, they oftentimes get divorced, and the other spouse does have to pay for half. So again,
see, that's what we were talking about with that guy I was talking about. The wife, all of a sudden, whatever it was, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and it's like, oh, what? Yeah, that's rough, man.
People they sign the other spouse's name. It's so, and these things are wrong. That's why it's financial infidelity. It's like, hey, wait a second, that's just wrong on every level.
Well, Holly, my advice is, if you're thinking about getting a divorce, is just close down those joint accounts. Wouldn't you say that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of times, I hate to say it, over the years with clients, they do start sliding money slowly to another account. So that's why the secret part is, like, if you keep your accounts separate, but they're secret, and the other person doesn't know about it, they can start sliding stuff out of a business into another account if they're having an affair or if they're planning to divorce you. And so those are pretty sneaky, things to do on your way out the door.
Holly, I don't think it's that bad to have a little bit of a stash. And I do have a stash put away in my house. I have a problem. I like to go to strip bars. There's a high-end strip bar here in Cincinnati called The Ass. And I like to frequent it.
It's called
what would
The
you
Ass
say?
now?
Yeah, we changed it.
Right.
You like the B, I like The Ass.
Right.
Is that a bad thing?
To have a stash? You mean,
no, go to strip bars.
Oh.
You think less of me?
I don't know, not at all. I don't judge people. Do you think less of me for buying too many shoes?
Yes, I do. I think that's really weak and very selfish on your part. You're very shallow. Right. I do judge.
He spends his kids' food money on strip bars.
Yeah.
Make it rain, Mercedes.
Yeah. Yep. What about that?
I spent a pair of Louboutins for $1,500, so I should feel bad about that, but I don't.
Did your husband ever give you grief for that $1,500 on a pair of shoes?
That's a knockoff.
No,
it's not
because,
real.
I got a bonus, and that wasn't my whole bonus. I just took part of it, and I took the rest, with the savings.
How much was your bonus?
$5,000.
That's not bad. I mean, that's...
Yeah, so, it was a good proportion, I think.
So what if he went on and said, oh, honey, I dropped $1,500 at the strip bar today?
I probably would be upset, yeah.
Okay.
Would it be because of the money or looking at it?
I try to look so good for him that,
You do look good. Let me tell you something, girl. I mean, for somebody, you're saying you've been doing this, I'm with Tracy. You're saying you've been doing this 26, 28 years? Come on
Yeah,
now.
that's true. Well, it's the only thing I've ever done.
Holly, have you ever dated a Major League Baseball player?
No.
Do you like baseball players?
I do.
Who's your favorite?
I don't know. I don't keep up.
But you like them, though, don't you?
It. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
All right. And with that, Holly, I'm going to get you off the phone right now before you get in trouble with your husband, because this guy is a selfish,
creepy,
money grubbing,
All the bad things, Holly. That's me.
Holly, we appreciate you talking to us. And people want to find out more about you, they can go to themoneytherapist.com. Is that correct?
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good one.
You too. And she's
good sense of humor.
She is a young woman.
She really is. That's your type.
Oh, I'm telling you, look at her. Bruce, come here, man. You got to see this girl.
Yeah. She has a nice look to her. She looks clean.
Very clean. Texas girl. You know, those girls take care of themselves. They all grow up with money down there.
She looks like she has money.
She does look like she has money. Yeah. She's out there dropping $1,500 on a pair of shoes. She must have a little something.
Whatever she's doing is getting a $5,000 bonus.